Okay. Come on in here, everyone. Hey, Tiffany. You can unmute. How you doing today?
I'm good. How are you? Hey, Lisa.
Awesome. Oh, I like that ponytail.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay,
Hey, I'm feeling that hat in the back. What's going on back there with old girl?
That's on our mannequin.
Oh, she is looking good.
Okay, so how's everything going? Okay, so let me go ahead and see.
Hi, Emery. This is Sybil. How are you doing?
Hey, Sybil, how are you?
I'm doing well. I'm so sad. I have another meeting. I can't come tonight.
Well, we see you now. It's so good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you too. I just want to say I went on Myra's feet on my grandson and my granddaughter. My back, my neck, my knees, everything was hurting me.
Oh no!
Oh, they have some thick hair. Oh, I thought about you. I said your hair cannot be thicker than this child's hair. I'm going to show you a video or something.
Show us, please. Please,
but I
please.
have to go now. But I'll show you next week.
Please do. Well, it's so
All
good
right,
to see you. Thanks for popping in.
Thank you. Love you guys.
Love
Bye.
you too. Hey, how's everybody else doing? Hey, Sabrina.
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing awesome. So good to see you. I like your
Good.
hair.
Yeah, I know, right? I can do a little something.
I see a little hang time in the back when you.
Yeah, no, it's a lot of hang time. Yeah, I got it.
Okay. Well, you guys can go ahead and unmute. This is open discussion like usual. We're just having our regular meeting, like it's just us. So get in here. You can unmute. We're kicking it today. How's everybody doing? Well, before we get started, for everybody who don't know me, my name is Emery McClendon. I am the inventor and the CEO of Family Hair Care. And we're having these family meetings weekly so we can, help you guys to use the product better, so we can stay connected, and so we can just have an all around good time together. Easy peasy. So that's pretty much it. Does everybody want to go ahead and give us their rose and thorn of the week? It could be hair related or otherwise. It could be health related, since we are doing our health challenge right now. How's everybody been?
Well, I guess I can. Oh, I didn't know someone else was speaking.
No, go ahead. It's fine. Okay. Whoever.
Oh, well, I guess mine was just small challenges, small wins. Decided to do the I think you guys briefly had spoke about from the last meeting about your dieting, and I decided to do the intermittent fasting, and just being mindful of what I'm eating and at what time I'm eating. I don't think I really paid much attention until I really was being honest with myself. It's like, oh, those little snacks, you're thinking, oh, well, it's I'll just get a little, but those little bits throughout the day add up. So that was just something that, I noticed that it's just being mindful and having your mindset of saying, hey, this is what I need to do. It's for the betterment of myself later. So yeah.
Awesome. Okay. Who else? Anybody else want to say anything? How's your guys' week been going? Nobody?
Good week.
Okay. Well, great. Well, listen, I'm not going to keep you guys longer than you want to be kept, and that, so we'll go ahead and keep it moving. So let's go ahead. Today we're just pretty much going to have hair Q&A. We got a couple of questions to our email, which is familymeeting@familyhair.com. And people are just asking, primarily about, hang on, let me just change this view real quick. Give me 1 second. Okay, great. And people were just asking primarily about about their hair issues. So I'm going to go ahead and read a couple of those today, and then we're going to give you guys some resolution. We're going to give you guys some resolutions, and then you guys can chime in too, because a lot of these issues we have all encountered before together in our challenge. Does that make sense? So let's just go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and pull up a couple of those right now. Okay, so hello, my name is Blank, and I have been using Family Hair Care for 3 years now in between protective styles. I love my curls while using the product, but to be honest, I don't use it consistently because I always have flaking. Brown flakes on my vehicle's cream leather headrest is not good, LOL. It's not. Do you have any suggestions on how to eliminate this excessive flaking so that I can fully enjoy the product? I have 2.5 jars right now that I want to use. Also, the 90-day scalp restoration challenge. Will the meetings be available for playback? The weekly meeting time is, okay, she has work. Okay, cool. All right, so before I even chime in, her issue is that when she uses family hair care, she experiences brown flaking. Does anybody, has anybody here ever experienced that before? And if so, why do you think, you've experienced it, and what have you done to overcome it?
This is Kim.
Hey, Kim, how are you?
Hello. So yes, I have experienced the brown flaking, and there are a couple of reasons that occurs, and it just depends on what the situation is and different ways to fix it. So the times that I experienced the flaking were times when I did not let my hair fully dry before I went to bed, or I was touching and manipulating the hair instead of letting the product work its way into my hair cuticles. So the key is to make sure you let your hair dry before you start manipulating it and playing with it. I mean, get rid of that hand and head syndrome that a lot of us have. That's one thing. The other thing that that caused it is trying to mix it with other stuff that it just doesn't blend well with this, especially when you haven't clarified your hair prior to your first use. If you've gone in and you put all these things in your hair and it's trying to mix with those things from a previous wash, not even just what you've added for this wash, but if you make sure you clarify and get all that extra stuff out, you absolutely let it absorb into your hair and let it dry, you won't have the flaking. I mean, until maybe later, maybe on week 2, or because of just how we manipulated our hair over time. So if anybody else want to chime in on some of the things that they've done.
Okay, well, yep. So I think, yep, that's some very, very, very good advice. A lot of people say, well, I watched the tutorial, I put enough on there, and but there are a lot of things that come into factors of the results. Number one, the time of day you do your hair. Like, I wouldn't wash my hair and lay down, 2 hours later. I want to do it earlier in the day where my hair has sufficient time to air dry. So by the time I go to bed, I'm not putting anything on my wet hair that's causing it to mat. And then you take it off, it's just going to be brown and matted because the product didn't dry correctly. So that's one factor that may be applicable. Number 2, she did say that she does not use it consistently because of the flaking, but that may be why you're having the flaking. It sounds to me like the product is not able to penetrate into your hair, and maybe there's like some kind of oil, or maybe even some kind of buildup of some sort that's keeping it from penetrating fully, and it's sitting on top of your hair. So what I recommend you do is number 1, clarify your hair. If you've been using other products, and you're not getting the results that you want to get with this product, we recommend using a clarifying shampoo and washing your hair maybe 2 or 3 times to make sure that it's squeaky clean. That way our product, has the ability to penetrate and fully, coat the hair. And then once it dries, the hair would absorb it. It won't just be sitting atop of the hair strands, if that makes sense. Does that make sense, guys? Okay, great. And then the other thing is, you asked about the 90-day hair and scalp restoration challenge. It is available. It's available for free right now to everyone. I do encourage that you watch that, because if you have hair, and this is our hair model today, we know her from the challenge. She's been around. Remember this curl that we did? It's still here from way back then. But anyway, this is how, like, a lot of okay. So let me just stick with what she was asking. So this is our okay. So if you have the flakes on your hair, let me just see consistently. Okay. So okay. We're going to go into that a little bit more tonight, because we're going to go ahead and answer a couple things, and I'm going to do a demonstration. But definitely go into the 90-day hair challenge. What I took her head off to say was, when we have curly and coily hair, each hair has its own curl pattern. So they don't all have a curl pattern together. That's kind of why like each hair has a curl pattern. They don't all curl together. That's kind of the difference between kinky hair and curly hair. Curly hair, all the hair, kind of curls together in more of a pattern. Kinky hair, each hair strand kind of has its own pattern. So when you're doing this, you want to just ensure that you're putting enough of the product on to coat their hair properly. And it kind of takes a little bit of practice to find what your level is. Sometimes you put a little bit, too much, and it may not dry in time. Sometimes you need to put that much, but you just don't want to put it all on in one time. You may want to put a little bit on today, and then you want to put a little bit on tomorrow. Once you wake up, you can go ahead and do a second day. So it's just about finding, and then also about training your hair. When you do the 90-day hair challenge, what this does is all these individual hairs that have their own curl pattern, they're going to start to have a pattern together. The hairs are all going to start, because when you use different hair products, use a different product on your edges. You use a different product, on this part, because this part is softer than the back. And so if you're using different products, different techniques on different parts of your hair, that is a major contribution to people having many different hair textures. And they say, well, this part of my hair is 4C and this part is this. Well, you have to examine, we talked about a lot in the 90-day hair challenge, nature versus nurture. And a lot of times, a lot of the effects that we have are not, just natural, because we've been doing things our whole life to our hair. My mama always did this to my edges when I was younger. I always permed this part of my hair when I was younger. I didn't have to do it. So it's, once we talk it through, a lot of times we figure out why. But if you train your hair, then you won't have any of that. And we kind of show that a lot more in the challenge. So I'm gonna show you a little bit later on the mannequin, the technique to both train the hair, and we call it a hair cast. And that's what that is it's what I do right now. And I'm gonna bring Lisa up. Come on up, Lisa. Because Lisa has a cast right now, a fresh cast, and I have a regular cast, my bun. So she just did hers today. You see it's still a little bit wet and stuff. So you can go ahead and see. Do you guys see me on camera or no? Okay, cool. Just wanted to go ahead and make sure. So let me go ahead and hang on one second. Show non-video participants. Okay, give me 1 second. Because I just want to make sure that everyone, okay. Okay, 1 second, guys. I'm doing too much. Okay, that's a little bit better. Okay, so what a cast is we have all these hairs that have all these different patterns, okay? So we want to make all these, we want to treat all these the same, we want to train all these hairs so that they all can go the same manner. So when we do a cast on you want to put as much hair as you can on your head. You can do a bun. Lisa did French braids. It's just slicking the hair down, and before that, in week 1, what we show you is we do the scalp restoration treatment, when we brush the hair forward, backward, side to side. And if this is all new to you guys, you'll see all this in the 90-day hair challenge. It's going to be free this week. So go and get it. After this week, you'll get it free, but you have to make a purchase. So we want to make sure that everybody gets access who needs access to it. But in that, we show you how to restore your scalp. And that could be an issue too. If your scalp, if you are using different products and your scalp is not properly maintained and things cannot get through, especially I know us with 4C hair, our scalp is usually the last part of our hair to dry, because it's, the part that's, the most, the thickest. So we just want to make sure that we get, that we handle everything properly. But that, in my opinion, those are some good steps. Number 1, just make sure that you're clarifying your hair if you're using other products. And then the last thing I want to say is it does take time. You have to be consistent. Now, you said you have brown flakes. I would not take my hair right now when it's dry and I casted it to have a hole and just take it down. If I take it down right now without spraying any water, I'm going to have brown flakes. I have it, there is conditioner in my hair. It's not magic, people. You have to, use a little bit of, okay, it's dry right now, what I'm saying? So you don't want to move it when it's dry. If you want to go ahead and restore it so you can move it, wet it, what I'm saying? Spray it, give it 60 seconds, and then you can go ahead and move it. Your curls are going to fall or whatever. So just go ahead and keep that in mind too. If you did your hair like a cast, it's going to be hard. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to be movable because you have set it that way so it can be held and so it can have a hold and be protected. Does that make sense, guys? You guys can unmute. I feel like I'm just talking to you guys like we're at church or something.
Yes, that makes sense.
Yes.
Hey, y'all, please,
Makes
please
sense.
unmute. It was so silent in here. I'm just like, I'm just talking to us. This is an open discussion. We are all talking. Because I don't want to be talking at you guys and people like, well, you don't understand because you got good hair. Like they don't understand my hair journey. So you guys have, in a year from now, you guys are all going to have, people going to be asking y'all the same thing. Well, you don't understand because your hair is all the way down to your shoulders. Da, 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 da. So we'll just, you guys are newer to this, so we can just kind of give them some insight. But was it spot on?
Yes, I actually wanted to share the piece about wearing a protective style because that's how I started using family hair care. I wore wigs for months. And so what I would do is I would wash my hair, I would apply the product. I made sure I had it on my scalp. Like I was kind of just using it almost like, hair grease or something. So I would just put it on my scalp. And because I didn't know really how to do, all the things that I've learned in the 90-day hair challenge. And then I braided it down. And then I would wear like a wig cap and I would wear my wig. And I just did that until it was time to wash it again. I don't know that I particularly noticed brown flakes because I don't know that I was paying attention for that. I just figured, okay, my hair is dirty, so it's time to wash it again. But I will say that once I started the 90-day hair challenge, if I did experience flaking, it was because I was messing with my hair. Like I was tugging at the curls and pulling at it and, seeing what it's going to do. And so then it started flaking everywhere. But that was something that you mentioned that's going to happen. You're going to have that fallout. And I think Kimberly even mentioned that, like, you're playing with it. So it's product in your hair. So every time you touch it, it's going to come out. The other thing is the water piece is very significant. So I've learned to, before I manipulate my hair, to put the water first and then move it however I want to, because the other thing is I would experience some breakage if I didn't. Like I would notice the ends would be really dry if I'm trying to move it when the hair is hard. It's like, well, you're not supposed to be moving it like that. I'm coming out of a casted look and then I'm trying to comb it. Like, of course you're gonna.
People be trying to really comb their cast. I'm like, are you trying to?
No, that's not a good thing.
Yeah,
you will not have any hair if you do that. So the whole point is to make sure you let the water do the work. Put the water.
This is a miracle, but we have to use a little bit of common sense with it, okay? If my hair is not moisturized enough, and you say, I want more moisture, we just use more product, okay? It's not like, okay, well, just use some of the pre-poo again, and then you wash it out and just use more. You don't have to even start all over again. Just add more the next day, and build it up that way.
So I want to piggyback on something you said, because so from a cast, no, do not try to comb your hair out of a cast. But if you've done like a wash and go or something, and you want to get a fuller look, you can kind of pick to kind of remove some of the product. But you got to be mindful that you need to kind of shake that out of your hair if you don't want it coming out on your shirt, because what you have done is lifted the product off your hair to get a little frizz to create some volume. So you want to at least kind of shake that out, because otherwise it's going to show up later.
Well, don't even shake it out. What you can actually do is you can wet your pick and then stick your pick in your hair.
Yeah, true.
And then it's just, and you don't want to, when you're picking out your hair, let me just give you guys a tip. So if your hair is like Kimberly, she has like the curls on the end, you don't want to pick those out. What you do in the morning when you wake up, you can just run your fingers through the perimeter, now go ahead, put the curls back up, and then just, wet your pick a little bit, and then stick it in your hair and fluff it up from the inside and shape it that way, and you're good to go. And it's super simple. Yeah.
Thanks for that one.
Yeah, no problem at all. Like flaking is not like, oh, this product, flaking is your product is on your hair, okay? This is not like magic stuff. This is like a hair product that's in my hair. If this wasn't in my hair would be, this is like holding my hair in place right now. If it wasn't here, my hair would be a Q-tip, okay? So it's here, so we have to do, okay, so we have it in here. So if we're gonna move our hair, we can do a couple of different things. Now, sometimes I told you guys in the 90-day hair challenge, if you guys have not done the challenge yet, I'm telling you, it is literally hair life changing. When I don't want to wash my hair and I'm super, super lazy, but I'm like, okay, I need to cleanse my hair, Sometimes I take my bun down, I don't wet it at all, and then I just take a towel and put it in my sink, and I just let all of the brown, I let all of it come out. It takes out all the dirt, all the product, everything. When you do that, you can like literally separate your hair. It takes about like 10 minutes and you don't have any dirt, you don't have any product or anything. It's just like starting all the way over. And everything is like, it's like a dry shampoo. You can do anything with this product, and because it's so diverse, we're using it for one thing, trying to use it one way, you may be getting the effects of using it another way. And a lot of things we can just talk through them. So to me, as long as your hair is clean and you do it, it's cleansed with a clarifying shampoo at the outset, so your other products aren't blocking this product, and you do it at the right time of day, you should be good to go. You shouldn't have any flaking unless you do a cat sit style and you're trying to move your hair without, you know, refreshing it prior to. Okay.
Hey, cuzzies. I just hi.
Hey, who's that?
Hey.
Who we
It's
got?
Fatima.
Hey, Fatima, how are you?
Hey, cuzzies. I'm fine, thank you. I'm just sitting here and I'm kicking myself like I could have did the 90-day challenge and kept my camera off and did what I had to do around the house. But this is lovely. This is lovely. I'm glad to be here. Now with the flaking, I listened to everything, right?
Mhm.
And you know, I contacted you the other day because I wear my wigs. That's my beautiful, you know, hat to wear in the winter time. We're in 20-degree weather. And so let's say Sunday, I cast my hair and I braided it down so I could put the my lace front on, right?
Okay.
Now I'm taking it out. It's still soft, it's still moist. I haven't added any water to it. So that was, I think, the key term that you said to eliminate the flaking is to reactivate the product. Because since I didn't add water, my hair is flaky. You know what I mean? Like it's soft, it's shiny and everything. But like I said, I cast my hair, I braided it down, and it was the nighttime. So there was the time of the day as well. And I went to sleep. You know, so you say it's the time of the day that you put it in, you need to allow your hair to dry and think that's all of that is correct. It's all correct, because when I take my daughter's hair out, now I use the water to take it out, and I make sure that I'm taking it out. And she never flakes. Her hair never flakes. So it's the difference between, like you said, the timing and the water. That was an excellent answer right there. That's the big difference.
And and then another problem is when I know when and then like as far as like getting your teeth and stuff, if you let your hair dry, you know, and then like nobody should be having wet hair every day. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't have to do that. The purpose of this product is, and in the 90-day hair challenge, we stress this. If you have a good wash day and you apply it correctly that day, then it makes the rest of the week easier. Let me tell you guys another thing too. I have not done my hair in 2 weeks since I did it live. This is the same bun 2 weeks ago.
Nice. Looking like you did it 2 seconds ago.
Yeah.
Listen, literally, my hair was itching about 3 days ago. All I did, and it looked just like this still, because I had did it just the day before that. So I had a double dose back to back. Like I did a full strength. Like I never put that much on the second time I'm refreshing it. I didn't have to put any more on. My bun was still looking good when I took it down. So it was like a whole week and a half later. Then my it still looked good, but my scalp started to itch. So what did I do? Stuck my head under the shower faucet for like 3 to 5 seconds, and then it instantly just penetrated. And then I didn't even comb it or anything. I just did that, got out the shower, and then it was just like looking good. I just smoothed it down, put a little bit more product, and then it dried, looking just like this all over again. And the itching was gone. So if you add enough the first day, that's the key. Because a lot of people are like, well, how do we use this as shampoo? You don't want to put product on your hair and then wash it out. You put product on your hair on wash day, look good for 3 or 4 weeks, and then wash it out. But if there's nothing to wash out because you didn't put enough on at the outset, then you're not going to have, number one, 3 or 4 weeks of good hair or anything to wash out at the end. Does that make sense? It's all about applying enough on the first day. So I'm gonna read a couple more of these questions, then we're gonna do a little bit of a demonstration on the model, and I'm gonna show you guys how to cast your hair on your scalp, like we show you in the 90-day hair challenge, and then off of your scalp, like we show you how to clump your curls and make a bit, make your curls. Because there is no reason people should be still saying, well, I'm getting shrinkage. Like now, like we show you how to make the curl. If your curls aren't big enough, then you're going to have shrinkage. Your curls are too little, they don't have enough weight on their own. So if they're not long enough, you got to make them bigger and juicier so they can stick together. You know what I'm saying? And then you can make the ends heavy with the product. It's just gravity. Make your number one, your ends should always be coated. That's the most fragile part of your hair, your ends, because we all get the hair growth. When you color your hair, you know how often you got to color it, because why? There's new growth. So your hair is growing. Or if you got to get your hair cut every 2 weeks, or every week, you know how much hair growth that you have. So if you're saying my hair is not getting any longer, well, your hair is getting longer. You're just not retaining your hair. So you're not taking care of your ends. So when you coat that curl, make sure your ends are heavily coated, but we'll show you guys all that too. Okay. So hello, my issue is scalp related. I have an extremely itchy scalp. I'm talking every day, all day, itching, even after applying product and brushing, combing hair in all directions, patting my itchy head to not break my cast itchy bun. Yep. Stick your head under the shower 3 to 4 seconds when your head gets itchy. And that to me goes right to the scalp. And not only does the water hit the scalp, but it puts that product back on the scalp. And to me, it helps with the healing process. And if you're doing that, if you're not having any scalp issues other than that, you don't have to even do the brushing. I maybe do that maybe. Like when I had scalp issues and and some people were saying that on my commercial when we did the live that my hair in the front didn't look real. This is my real hair. These are real hairs. This is not drawn in. Okay. Can we see? Do I need to make myself big? So everybody...
you already big. We can see it.
Okay. So this is real hair. Okay. So I just wanted to let you guys know that. So, okay. So any event, if you have itching scalp, it's because you don't have enough moisture. And it's hard to get aside from, if your scalp is itching and you have like a rat tail comb and you have a little itch, I'll set that in. Like if I have an itch under my bun, if I have a rat tail comb, I'll stick it in there. Number one, it lets me get to the itch without disrupting. Like you don't have to disrupt all this because you have a little itch in here. Just get the look, and then if it's itching too much, wet your hair. It doesn't have enough moisture under your scalp. If you do that a couple of days of even the first couple of days, if you have a little scalp, get a little bun. You know what I'm saying? In the shower, the only part of your hair that you really don't want to get wet would be this bun. So if I want to, because this takes days to dry. This will be dry in a couple of hours. Okay. So if the hair on your scalp, wet that, you know what I'm saying? And then that should immediately, and you can smooth it down. You can, itch it, you can put it together and then you're good to go. And you still have your cast in place. You don't have to restyle your hair every day. And I'll say you do that for 2 or 3 days straight. After that, your scalp should be, getting a lot more acclimated. So if your hair is itching and you have, and you don't have a blowout or something, I recommend always, hit that shower head. Like I said, I have the same, I'm lazy, y'all. I have 14 jobs right now. I am really building a lot outside of this for us. Okay. For us. Okay. But I say this to say that I'm busier right now than I was when I worked in corporate America and I got up at 4 a.m. to go to a law firm. And I don't have to do my hair every day. This is the same bun I did live 2 weeks ago, the very same bun. And if I took my hair down right now, you'll have the same curls I had 2 weeks ago because I put enough on there to protect it. It's just all about using enough. And then if you're using enough and you're just hey, I like the way you look, just itching, put your hair under the shower, moisturize it. Because sometimes you can't get to the scalp with a spray bottle. That does not penetrate. If your hair is protected, nothing's getting in, nothing's getting out. You know what I'm saying? When it's dry. And then when you're spraying with a spray bottle, you're just smoothing out the outside. That's not really getting to the inside. You want to get to the inside, down to that scalp, let that shower head hit it 3 to 5 seconds, you know, especially on the spot that's itching, and it's instant relief. Anybody else have anything to add to that, or is that sound about right? Okay, so we're good there. Okay.
Sounds about.
Well, thank you. Somebody with me. See, y'all are muted again. Okay, I see how you guys. Okay, so let me go ahead and
No,
read.
it sounded about right. Like you really need water. Water is the key. And I remember at one point I was buying glycerin, and I noticed the product has glycerin in it. You don't need anything. This product has everything. You just need water.
I think when you use other products, it's like cheating. Like glycerin just gives you more instant shine, but it's not a shine from having healthy hair. It's a shine from having glycerin on your head. You know, okay?
Right.
So if you
Right.
you do it this way, you know, my hair is shining because my hair is conditioned, my hair is protected. It's not shining because it's dull at the bottom and my scalp is dry and it's just look shiny on the outside because I put glycerin on the outside. Does that make sense? It's the same way all the way down to my scalp. So, and it
Makes a lot of sense.
So, yep. Okay, let me go ahead and read a couple of comments and I'm gonna get, we're not live anymore. I don't think, okay. Well, they should have been at the Zoom, huh? Okay, we'll just rebroadcast it to the rest of the people listen for it. Oh, well, let me get in here. Okay, 1 second, guys. We don't want to disappoint the other people. Okay, download.
Yeah, it seemed like the live was lagging because I had it on my phone as well, and it lagged a lot behind here.
I was trying to stream from the Zoom because I know last week I was a little bit at the other one, and then so I was trying to stream live from here to everywhere else, but I don't think it worked. So, but let me just go ahead and try to enable. Okay, give me 1 second. I thought it was live. Okay, I think we're live again. Okay, so I think we're back, everybody. I'm sorry if you guys were looking. Okay, I'm sorry, guys. We're back. So let me go ahead and go into, okay, so glad to see you all. Hey, Mark. Okay, Tiffany, I had to jump off at 6:30. No problem at all, Tiffany, for another meeting. Okay, yeah, the replay will be up a little later. We'll post it. I have a giveaway. Rhonda, you have a giveaway?
Yes.
Okay, well, girlfriend, tell us about it.
This is a blend jet, and it is a smoothie maker. And I picked up one for myself, and I love it.
Ooh.
I love it. So I'm having my smoothies while I'm working.
Okay.
So you can't say you can't drink healthy drinks because now you can make it at your desk. It's chargeable. You charge it. So I'm gonna contact you through Messenger to see how we can do this.
Yeah.
And some lucky person is gonna win this.
Well, thank you so much. We definitely incorporated into our New Year healthy start, you know. And speaking of which, I just want to go ahead and announce that I lost 14 freaking pounds since the beginning of this month. Can I stand up? Y'all want to see it? Oh no. Much. Okay.
All right.
14
Yeah.
pounds.
Good job.
And you know, I have not even been
That's awesome.
100%, like
Nice.
at all, because y'all, it's been a rough start until 2022. Okay, but I haven't been 100%. However, even like the motivation, just seeing y'all, it was like, okay, I know it's some people in here like almost twice my age doing like 4 times my steps. That just tells me that I don't have no excuse. You know what I'm saying? Get up and shut up and do it, or just shut up. You know, so yeah. And so like you guys are really, really motivating. And I have not even been doing it like that. You know what I'm saying? I've been trying to eat a lot better. I've been trying to get my steps in, but I literally right now spend about 12 hours a day sitting at a desk. So it's really, really difficult, you know. So but I lost 14 pounds just doing this with you guys this month. So this has been awesome.
Great job.
Thank you.
Congratulations. That's
Congrats,
awesome.
Cameron.
That's great.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
amazing.
Oh, and I gained a lot of quarantine weight. I don't think anybody knew that. But when the quarantine first started, I thought it was about to be over. So I was just like, you know what, we about to go out eating good. and taking good naps. Okay. Okay, after casting, is it okay to sit under the dryer? Okay, so the dryer to me is tricky. Let me tell you why. The dryer is good for, okay, let me explain this. I'm explaining this kind of for the first time. So I'm gonna look at y'all faces and see if y'all understand, and I'll let me know if this is making sense, okay? The dryer is good for drying this hairstyle. However, when you dry it, just like if you're flat ironing it, you're pulling all the moisture out, you just have oil in it. So when you like wet it again to redo it again, it's not going to be the same as if you did not dry it, because now you just have oil on your hair. You don't have gel on your hair. Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah, yes. and
Yes, it
I'll
does.
It kind of like breaks the bond. It
Yeah.
breaks
Yeah,
the
yeah,
bond.
and in I experience, if I sit under the dryer, it's harder. My hair is harder.
Mhm.
It looks dry. But what I have found when I do my wash and go or twist out or something, I'll diffuse it, and I won't let it fully. I won't fully diffuse it. I'll just try and diffuse the roots a little bit so that I don't get as much shrinkage from the root. But I don't let it get fully dry with any extra heat except for just natural heat, unless I'm going to diffuse it just a little bit, just to make sure my roots are dried and not shrink so much at the root.
Yep. And for my cast, I don't mind getting under the dryer, especially if like let's just say I did my hair yesterday and my bun wasn't fully dry today. If I'm going to a meeting, if I got a Zoom call, I don't want brown stuff in my hair. I don't want it to look like it's, you know, not dry. I just put a hair dryer on there, and you will see literally the brown turn to like a really, really shiny oil. And your hair is like really, really shiny. And like, even if you put your hand on it, it come off like an oil. It kind of breaks the bond. So when you wet it again, it's not gonna come down like it would, and it's not gonna behave, you know, like it would if you had not have done that, because now you're putting more product on your hair with oil, if that makes sense. Does that make sense, guys?
It makes sense. It makes a lot of sense.
Okay, so it just turns into an oil, just like if you flat iron your hair. And if you like the oil, then that's awesome. But yeah, okay. So
My hair dries better, air dry. I like mine to air dry. It's better that way.
this product is meant to be easy, but for some reason, a lot of people just really tend to want to overcomplicate the process.
There's more than one use for it.
And it's more than one way to use it. Like me, I knew nothing about being natural. I knew when I first started this, I didn't know anything about a wash and go. I learned from all you guys. Like I just knew I had something that worked for our hair and it could help you regrow it. Like I didn't know how to style or anything back then, but we know how to do all. It can't get any easier. You have one product, and it's a million ways to use it depending on what you want to accomplish, and that's what we're here to talk through it and give everybody the best guidance. Okay, I have another question, guys. Okay, I've been using your product for about 3 months now and my hair is really growing. I also stopped having terrible dandruff, so thankful for that. However, I'm still having a couple of problems. I'm trying not to wash my hair with shampoo more than once a month, but sometimes it feels super itchy. What can I do about that? My other issue is that my hair straight, no curls. My former hairstylist put some natural hair straightener in my hair, and my hair just has not reverted back to its usual for a self. This was months ago. I haven't seen her since September. I don't know what to do. I just cast it and ponytail it. I would love to wear it curly if I had some curls. Any suggestions? Yes. Okay. So, firstly, training your hair. Okay, so if my hair was super, super like hers, like when I put my hair down and it just like kind of didn't fall down, it kind of just like went up, and wherever you left it, it would just stay because it doesn't have a moisture to bounce. Okay, let me see. Let's approach one issue at a time. I want to make sure I give her some really sound advice. I'm still having a couple of problems. I'm trying not to wash my hair with shampoo more than once a month, but sometimes it feels super itchy. So if you're saying trying not to wash your hair with shampoo more than once a month, that's implying to me that you're washing your hair multiple times a month. which may be the issue. As I've mentioned before, I wash my hair every 4 to 6 weeks. And then you said you try to use shampoo no more than once a month. As far as my moisture level, if I'm starting right here and I'm trying to get over here, as far as like this is the amount of moisture I need, and this is where I'm starting. When I rinse my hair with Just Family Hair Care, I'm right here. After I do that, I put shampoo in it to cleanse it more, I go back here because it strips so much more moisture out of your hair. It's so much more difficult to detangle. And that's when I typically have a lot of the itching and stuff on my scalp, because a lot of time, well, Family Hair Care is a natural cleansing agent. So you're kind of like cleansing again when you put shampoo on it after have deep conditioned your hair, with the product for a week. You're trying to like rinse it out and your hair is clean, and then you're cleansing it again. So at this point, you're not cleansing dirt out, you're shipping out oils, essential oils, you're kind of like over stripping when you use shampoo, in my opinion. Like I said, when I'm trying to get here with my moisture, if I start right here with just, no product on my hair, as I rinse it out, if I use shampoo, I'm going way back here. My hair instantly looks thicker, more unmanageable, more like I haven't used, just this product, for the last couple of years. Does that make sense? So number one, your frequency in washing. If you're washing, like, we are not our grandparents. I don't think many people in our group are out here in the fields picking berries, so they got dirt in their hair and stuff, every day. Like, we all have desk jobs, we go to the, so can I get an amen? Y'all are muted. Okay, I need to hear some people.
That's right. Okay.
Okay. You tell
We
the
ain't
truth.
out here, okay, we ain't out here picking dandelions and stuff, okay, and stuff like that. So once you put your hair in the cast, my hair is protected. If I go outside and something blows in my hair, it's blowing on top of my hair is protected. I can pick it off and keep moving. You know what I'm saying? So I don't have to be like, oh, my hair's been so dirty. Da, 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 da. Even if you work out, that's all, it's not going to do anything. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to affect anything. Get your towel, pat your, whatever, and you're good to go. Okay, so just make sure that you're not over washing your hair and over cleansing it to the point where you're causing the dryness and scalp irritation to begin with. And then I will also reconsider the shampoo, especially if you're using a clarifying shampoo. Clarifying shampoo's purpose is to strip and cleanse your hair and to strip it. So if you're stripping so it doesn't really do any good to only use this product and to deep condition your hair for weeks and then strip it all out. You know what I'm saying? So they're kind of like undoing it, and you're pushing yourself way back here in terms of getting to your level of moisture. So does that make sense? So I would wash, and so like I said, we're not in the fields anymore, so we don't have to wash our hair every week. We don't get dirty like that typically. If you do, you know what I'm saying, that's another issue. You know what I'm saying, you do what you have to do to feel like you are maintained, and I totally get it. But if itching is the reason, put your hair under the faucet for 3 to 5 seconds. Penetrate that hair, you know what I'm saying? You can rub it at that time. Oh, okay, oh, it's in there. Okay, good, I'm good. And you're good, you know what I'm saying? When you got the shower, just look in the mirror, apply a little more, put it back together, and your scalp is moisturized, your hair is looking good, everything is refreshed. You look like you just did your hair for the first time, and you're good to go. So does that make sense?
We can do that with the bun, Emery?
I do, girl, this the same bun from 2 weeks ago. So listen, I'm gonna tell you guys what I did this week. Literally, I was like, okay, I'm getting my hair cut tomorrow. So usually when I get my hair cut, I get my hair cut every Thursday. My barber comes over, and I usually like wash just this part of my hair because I don't want to have product in it so you can like blend me up well. So I just put my shower cap on, usually like this part, and I just like literally just rinse the whole front part out. You know what I'm saying? Or if I was like, oh, my scalp is itching, I don't want to get it all wet, I wouldn't put on the shower cap. I'll just go ahead and put my head under the shower, but I wouldn't get this part wet. I'll just like wet all the perimeter around, and then I'm good to go. Like by the time I get out of the shower, it's brown, like I just applied it on wash day. And then at that point, I just, smooth it down. If I have any, itching, I make sure I get that attention, pay attention to that area, put it back together, and you're good to go. I did that, you know, like I said, a couple days, like 3 days ago. This is the same bun, you know, same hairstyle. It literally took, I wet my hair in the shower, I got out, I spent 3 minutes on my head, and that was it. And they just, it doesn't get any easier than this. You know what I'm saying?
How do you tame unruly gray?
How do you tame unruly gray? Put this on full strength, okay? Put it on full strength, and you have to lay them down. Now, this is my thing. So the people who have gray hair, the silver hair, and the white hair, I know that our product stains. It's brown in color. It's natural. I don't know anything natural that you cook and it turns clear or white. You know what I'm saying? So we have to recognize what we're dealing with. Y'all don't want to use chemicals. I don't want to use chemicals. We got natural stuff. This is natural, okay? So it's going to be brown. However, you're going to have to use it slightly different. If you say, hey, I got beautiful blonde hair, I don't want it to be stained, or I got silver hair, I don't want it to be stained, then what I recommend that you do is put it on full strength like you're doing the cast and deep condition it. You can do it overnight, you know what I'm saying? And let that, and you want to get all your hair straight, because those silver hairs, those gray hairs are very, very disrespectful. They don't obey. They want to pop out at the most inopportune time. So you want to lay them down, and you want to be able to go over them, like, you know, front, like, you know, you want to be able to go up, down, back, front, you know, you got enough on them too. It's going to be brown, and let it dry brown. And then you just letting it dry brown so that you can go ahead and condition those hairs to lay down. And then the next day, if you want to, like, I don't want to have my hair brown, go ahead, rinse it in warm water. Your hair's going to be soft, way more manageable. And then you can just go ahead and rub it white and apply it a little bit more at a time. But you had like a really, really, really good deep condition, and your hair is going to be way, way more susceptible to absorbing that moisture because you just trained it, you know, and had all that moisture in there previously. And many people who have gray hair and lighter hair, they don't want to do that because, oh, it's brown. I think if it's gonna like stain my hair, it doesn't stain your hair. If you wash it out, your whites are going to be just as white as they were, if not whiter than before, because it's going to be way more conditioned and healthier. But you want to put enough on your hair to reach the objective of moisturizing your hair. I know that, you know, a concern is I don't want the color, but you need to get enough in there to moisturize it enough. Does that make sense, guys?
No.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yes, it makes sense.
And then if you don't care about the color, you just lay them down. You know what I'm saying? Put it on full strength. Let's just say if I had some hairs up here that was gray, I'm just like, oh, I don't know what to do with these grays. I'm gonna tell you what to do. You just put your product on and you just lay them down, because the gray hairs, they tend to want to stick up and not lay down. You really want to train those hairs, you know what I'm saying? And then just go ahead and train it, and you just put it on thick enough to where you're rubbing your hands not over the hairs, over the product. You can build it up if you need to, but you have to put enough on there. And number one, your hair's going to look 3 times thicker when it dries because you have the product on top, okay? It's not only getting in there, which is one level of thickness. Oh, my hair looks thicker because I have this product in my hair. It's a whole other layer on top of that, which makes it look like twice as thick. Does that make sense? And it lays those hairs down and it trains them. So if I wanted to go ahead and do that, if I had those gray hairs, they were coming in unruly, I would and especially if you have a part, you know what I'm saying? If you have a part, that's usually where you see them the most, because everywhere else you can kind of like put some hairs over, camouflage them. You want to really get that part. A lot of people act like they are scared to put product on your scalp, get their part and stuff. That's how you get the parts that look so thick. You know what I'm saying? You go both. If I have a part right here, like I do right here, you go both sides of that part. You know what I'm saying? We did the top, now you go to the bottom. And you get in the part, over the part. I don't want to see that part. You know what I'm saying? When I'm putting my product on. That's how you're getting those gray hairs to lay down and act right. And how you're getting your hair to look super, super thick. People like, you know what I'm saying? So when that dries, that's going to look way thick. Now you have your part in there. Everything is still there. It's covered up, right? I can go all the way. This is going this way. This is going this way, but I can still go this way down. I can still go this way up, both ways because I have so much product over that. But when that dries, it's gonna look like this. It's not gonna be looking scarce in here. This part not gonna be not shiny. And that's why I don't get, like, when you have a part, you lay it in there. You know what I'm saying? That's the part you want to really get together. And then like those gray hairs, they're gonna start to behave a lot more once you start getting them from the root, you know what I'm saying? And then they'll start to behave a little bit more because they're getting trained. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it does.
And that's a really good tip to make your hair look thicker. You want to get those parts, don't be scared, you know what I'm saying, to get those parts. If I have baby hairs, I'm laying them down and I'm making them thick. I'm going to make them brown now. So when they dry, they're going to be clear, they're going to be thick, and they're not going to move. They're going to be casted. This is what casting is. I'm casting it. I'm going to show you this one more time right in the middle. When I'm casting my hair and I'm recasting, like, let's just say I woke up this morning and I didn't sleep with anything on my hair and I had just a little frizz on my scalp. What I'm going to do is the goal is when you're redoing your hair to get enough in there on the scalp and then get enough on top of the scalp to where that hair, when it dries, is going to be protected. So I'm just going to rub this in there, right? And now my scalp, I feel it on my scalp. I'm rubbing it in there. And now I'm going to put it on there to just go ahead and seal all that in. And when this dries, I don't have to do my hair for another week and a half. You know what I'm saying? This is how you do it. You don't have to do this every day. I'm putting enough on there so where I know that when it dries, it's going to be an impenetrable, and it's going to be a fortress. Okay. You can't get in there. Nothing's going to get in, nothing's going to get out. So does that make sense? And then you don't have to worry about any of the itching or anything. If your hair is, sometimes you might need, like, if my hair itches all the time right here, today I'm gonna put a little bit more on here. I'm gonna rub it up and down on that itchy spot. I'm gonna get some product on that scalp because something is going on there. It's not just itching because it's good luck, okay? It's not just itching because it's, the new year. Something's going on there. Just pay a little attention to it, baby it, you know what I'm saying? And it'll love you back, okay? But this is the cure. If you have an issue, you put it on there. If I'm thinning right here, I don't want to put it everywhere but right here. I'm going to put it heavily right here. This is how I grew my hair back. When I do my hair in my bun, this is how my hair looks, and it's going to be dry in 2 hours or an hour or two. So it's not going to be looking like this forever. I don't have any water in here, so it's only product. So that answers that question about the itchy scalp. Her other issue is her hair is straight. So if your stylist put a natural hair straightener, okay, so natural hair is hair that has not been chemically altered. So I don't understand how a professional stylist can recommend a natural hair straightener and then still think that you're going to have natural hair. Unless it's like, if she put it in your head, I'm guessing it's like some kind of like kit or texturizer or perm or something. So that will probably alter the state of your natural hair. And then unfortunately, by you casting still, you're just stretching it out further. You're training it now to be even more straight. So what I would do if I were you is I would try to wear my hair out and try to wear it down. And then when you refresh your hair, you want to refresh it with cool water. Cool water tightens it up, okay? And if you do that for a couple of weeks, when you rinse your hair, when you wash it, you can wash it how you normally wash it. But when you get done, toward the end, you want to rinse it in cool water and let that be the last of the rinsing. So you can just tighten up, let it, rest a couple of minutes, and then you can start working on it. If she put something in your hair that's going to alter your hair texture, you may want to ask her about the long-term effects. I'm not really, qualified nor quantified to discuss, I don't even know what she used, number one, or I don't know what the effects would be, but in my opinion, I just wouldn't do that. There are other ways that we teach you of how to naturally straighten your hair in our 90-day hair challenge, and that'd be more beneficial than putting something on your hair that could possibly, and like I said, you shouldn't do things with long-term effects for like, oh, I want my hair to be straight, I want to get a blowout, okay, but now you want your hair to be curly again, but you put, this product in there. So I would probably talk to my natural hairstylist and see what the long-term effects were and see what she recommends. But if it's, in my opinion, I probably would keep washing with the clarifying shampoo, try to get as much of that out as possible, and maybe a couple more times, and then just use the product. Try to let your hair go down when you refresh it. Do it with cool water. Your curls may not come back right away, but if they don't, you can always use a hair rod, to manipulate them and make them fall, and you can like retrain them that way. But I wouldn't really train it on my scalp right now either. If you already got something to make it straight, like training on your scalp is to get this all, trained to work together, if that makes sense. All these different hairs going different ways, so we want to make sure they all know how to form a wave pattern together. How when I take this down, it's curls falling down, not just individual hairs going everywhere. That's what the cast does. And if she already accomplished that by doing a natural hair straightener, it's just that my concern that you might be overdoing it by doing that in cast. And you want to let your hair get a little more free, and you want to let it go ahead and get some of that texture back, and let it might not look the best for a while. And then you might have multiple textures too, depending on the long-term effects, but I would definitely keep washing in cool water. Try to strip as much of that out as possible with a clarifying shampoo, and then letting your hair down, and leaving it down enough for that curl to start coming back, because casting will train your hair, but it won't really train your curls. Having them down, that'll train them, and I'll show you how to do that a little bit later in this live too. Anybody else have any suggestions for that, the natural hair straightener, and what to do to kind of get her hair back into formation?
I don't know what she used, obviously, but I know if I find that if I do a 2-strand twist and then cast that, it makes the curl go back up.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So maybe she might try using, the 2-strand twist, which is going to put some kink in it anyway, but then put the product over it and cast it very heavily and let that dry. And maybe that'll help. I don't.
Definitely. Okay. Yeah. Whatever you do, just use cool water. Heat kind of opens up, and it helps with the stretching and stuff. But if you want to like get it to come back, use cool water. The colder, the better. Typically. Or you can even like try, I know some people, they use like ice cubes and rub it over their hair and stuff when they over process it. That kind of helps to shock it back into, its natural state a little bit more also. So, okay, awesome. So that is really good. Okay, so let me see if we have any more comments in here. Got it.
Emery, I got a quick question, Emery.
Fun.
So my hair, it's never gonna look like that probably. Your hair is the bomb. I just want you to know. But I had my little waves when I first cast it the first time, and then I did I used that clarifying shampoo because I used this other product and it was like a little too heavy and greasy for me. So I wanted to get that out and just put this back in. But I noticed when I did my when I recasted it again, those gray hairs, because I got my little highlights in the front, my little grays in the front, they're very uncooperative. And I noticed that it went back, it reverted back to that. So how often do you recommend that? Once I cast it, because now it's recasted, should I not do the what's the shampoo? Should I not do that because it'll trip?
I don't do shampoo at all. The purpose of the shampoo is to cleanse the other products to allow this to use. So when you're using shampoo with this product, if you wash your hair, if you add that product on your hair on wash day and you rinse the product out, your hair is clean. When you use shampoo, you're over cleansing it. When you're using the clarifying shampoo, you just stripping it. Okay. So you're starting all the way over. So everything that you've done,
that's what I thought.
You're like all the work that you've done to moisturize your scalp, you just strip all that out. all the work that you've done to deep condition your hair for the last couple of weeks, you know, you just now you're starting over from, and then all of the when I casted last time, I added some the first day, second day, third day, all that build up, all that training, all those waves that got there, they're gone now.
Yeah.
So yeah, so for me, I don't even deal with shampoo unless it's like even when I use the hair wax paint on Halloween and I had my hair green, I just literally just rinsed it out and I didn't even use any. I thought I was gonna have to use shampoo that day. I didn't have to use any. So I don't even use shampoo anymore.
So now I'm just not, because I tried this other product with it and I didn't like it. So I'm like, I want to just go back to strictly.
Okay.
Okay. So now it's getting back now because it was faster, I'll say, for the grays to cooperate than it was when I first recast it. So that's a great thing. But now I know, leave that alone.
To get them back popping, put your head under the shower curtain. I mean, not shower curtain, under the shower head, 3 to 5 seconds. Get that moisture back in there. Seal it again. When your hair, okay, so when the waves come is, our hair naturally wants to go every which way. But if it's protected and sealed, instead of going every which way, it's going to be sealed in there. So it's still trying to move and stuff, but that's how it just waves up and it's caught right there. So it's all working together that way. So just make sure you put enough back in there, and then you have the water on there, the moisture, your hair is going to naturally revert and it's going to go ahead and come back. So, yep. But shampoo to me is not it. Yeah, shampoo is not the best for me. So
yeah, especially a clarifying shampoo. It just, I'm like, oh my God, I'm starting all over again.
The clarifying shampoo is good if you have another product on your hair, because sometimes when, like, especially as guys, especially I know a lot of guys who are balding, a lot of them use like the wave grease. Like you brush your hair that much and you put that grease on your hair and it just sliding your follicles, and that is like rough. And then it's really, really hard to get that stuff out of your hair. You know what I'm saying? Especially like that Dax, it's just like all those waxes and stuff. That stuff is really hard to get off of your hair. Really hard. So you want to do a good clarifying shampoo for that. Or if you use like some different products and you're like, okay, my product is not working like the way it did before, do a clarifying wash because it's not being able to penetrate like it was before, and then you start to head over again. But in my opinion, I don't use shampoo.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Anybody else have any questions? But yeah, I'm telling you guys. So let me just go ahead and show you guys. So let's just say this girl was having problems with her hair. Okay, and she wanted. So I'm gonna show you. So it's 2 ways to go ahead and do your cast. I have no tools today. If you're at the airport and you're like, oh my God, I don't have anything. I just have or if you're in the car, I don't have anything. Or somebody coming over, I don't have anything. Just all you need is your jar. I'm gonna show you really quickly how to, and like, if you're not getting your curls to come out right, you're not forming your curls. And some people are like, oh, the product didn't work for me. The product is not doing your hair. You are doing your hair. Okay. Stop talking about my product don't work because you, and then some people come up here, don't want to watch the video. Like, what you think we doing all this for? You know what I'm saying? Don't want to watch the video and want to sit here and inbox you so you can just summon up everything. I'm almost on 13 episodes in the comments.
Amen.
No
Okay.
lies.
And then, oh no, I watched 90 Day Hair Challenge and it just didn't work for me. Okay, well, did you cast? But what's casting? Okay, well, girl, let me tell you something.
You better speak it.
Hello.
Help me help you, okay? Because so it's like we have like this all you need. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to go buy shampoos. You don't have to go buy glycerins. You don't have to go buy oils. You don't have to let me oil my fingers up before I take my hair down. You don't have to do any of that. This is all you need, and I want everybody to know that. So by now we have no tools. We have a girl whose hair looks a mess. Okay. Now you should say if she wanted to do a cast, all you have to do is literally put product on her hair. I'm gonna slick it down on my hair. I want to get it all the way so it's down And when I'm rubbing it, I'm trying to rub it down to her scalp. Okay. Now, another thing too, you don't have to have flat cast. You can have like the nice thick cast, like, you know, and with the curls coming down. I'm gonna show you guys some more advanced techniques so we can, because now we kind of got, yeah, I'm trying to get everybody else caught to where we were so we can all go forward together. But we can't be doing all this advanced stuff. And people just like, well, what kind of shampoo did y'all use? Or what's casting? Y'all keep saying that. Okay, I'm like, okay, so I just don't have patience. Like, people be coming in and like it's like brand new. I know it's brand new to you, but we all been doing this for 90+ days.
Right.
And we made it available to you for free. And all you have to do is go watch it. Okay.
Right.
Tutorials page, we have tutorials. There's people in this here right now who own the tutorials page. Raise your hand, you're on the tutorials page, doing tutorials. But people swear they can't never see nobody here who look like theirs on there. I don't know, guys. Tell me out. Okay, but anyway, just slick your hair back, get it down, you know, just get it down, and you can just slick your hair back into a ponytail. You can do anything with that. But the key is people are always saying, well, the next day my hair does not look like that. The issue with that is you're trying to do your hair to look cute today instead of doing your hair to last for several days. So you don't want your hair to be brown, you want it to look clear and stuff, and that's fine if you plan on doing your hair daily. You gotta lay it on thick to coat it, to protect it, to cast it. It's not casted if you want to add enough just for it to look good right now. It's not gonna dry correctly because it's not gonna have enough to penetrate down to my scalp or any of that. Just make sure you put it on heavily and then just go all the way down to the scalp. And you can just put this right on back, okay? And then, so that's all you have to do. When you put it, you want to put it on the outside and just go ahead and slick and get it down to the scalp. And then once you get it down to the scalp and your scalp is moisturized, you feel it coming on your scalp. Like when I did it on my scalp, I feel it instantly cool on my scalp, you know, thick on my scalp. So you feel it. And then once you get it down on your scalp, make sure on the outside, that's on the inside. On the outside, you can just go up, down, left, right, because you have enough product on here and it's not smearing, it's not moving, it's not messing. Now you know you have enough on there. And then let it dry. And then don't try to comb it out when it's dry, okay? You have to wash it out. And that's how you do the cast on your head. When you get to the front, you want to always make sure that you know what I'm saying, even we have no tools today. Make sure that you know, whenever you do your hair, you know what I'm saying? When I cut my hair, I design my haircut. I want, you know, your edges are very important. You know what I'm saying? Your edges take your hairstyle from an 8 to a 10 just because your edges, you know, oh, I mean, okay. You know what I'm saying? So you leave a little something down and you could do all of this, you know what I'm saying? You could, whatever, you know, you can leave a little curl, you know, what, like, today I challenge you guys. So this week, everybody doing their buns and stuff, leave little curls down at the bottom. You know what I'm saying? Leave a little edge, you know what I'm saying? Put a little flair into it. And you can just really make, like, you can really change your edges every day. If like you got a whole different hairstyle every day and just have the same bun every day. I'm just gonna make these look, I'm gonna have this curl these off my scalp. I'm just gonna do some finger curls today, or I'm just gonna lay my edges down today, or I just coming down, just do whatever, you know what I'm saying? Or I just,
Yes.
so,
Yes.
so we can go ahead and experiment in that, okay? So now we know how to cast the hair on the head. We know how to do our accessory, and that's what make it class. And then when you own Zoom, nobody really cares about your cast. Nobody cares that you're training your hair. All they see is you. They see all this. Oh, okay, girl, I see you. Okay, I see. Okay, I see you. Okay, very well put together, and it looks like some effort was made. You know what I'm saying? Even if you wake up, your bun is messy, that is totally fine. If you wake up and you do this part on the outside, it looks way more intentional than I just got bad hair. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So, okay.
Yeah.
And then, so we know how to cast on, and then like you can do braids like Lisa, you can do a bun like me. Casting, just put as much of the hair on the scalp as possible, laying it all down, and then the part that's not on the scalp, make sure that part is being trained too, whether it's being trained around each other, like this, or it's being trained in the braid, and all the hairs are still somehow, you know, working together that way. Okay. So, and then the other thing, Yes, please, come on.
I have, how I do mine, I would finger part my hair and put the product on my scalp, part again, put more, like I'm laying like a perm. I add it into my hair like a perm.
Yeah.
And then the back, I bring it up so everything comes up. But I just saw you did the down and cross, but I like to put it in my scalp first before I put it on the hair. Like I put everything on my scalp, all through it, and then I slick it up like this.
Well, let me
And
tell
I
you
put more
that.
on my hair.
Yeah, okay, so I put mine on light, and then I put my ponytail on, and then I put it on where it's supposed to be. That's when I go heavy. And then when I put it on, I'm putting it on my scalp. So I'm everything is where it's supposed to be. And then you don't have to move anything. Cause like when I put it on heavy, and then I put my ponytail holder on, when I comb my hair, I feel like I gotta do it all over again. I got a lot of product on there. But if you do it after you do it, everything is tight. Now when you're doing it to set it. It's going down to your scalp. You know, it's not going to be moved again. You know that your scalp is protected, your hair is good all the way throughout, and you can put enough on the outside, make sure that the outside is protected, and you're going to have those waves that shine and everything else that you need. So either way is fine. Especially your way is way more helpful if you have really, really thick hair and you're doing this for the first time, you're trying to train your hair to all work together, then you might want to start off like that, definitely, because you might not be able to do it this way initially. But yeah, but now that my hair is trained, this is way more easy for me. It's just like, yeah, I can do my hair now in like 15, 20 minutes, as you guys seen last, 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. Oh, awesome.
Yeah,
And
okay.
I started doing like the gray hairs, like I have my grays around here. So
so I'm glad you brought that up, cuz let me give you a hint, a tip. So we know we want to do this, our cast, we can go front, back, left, right. The front, you always want to do like this, because you're going to always have those little hairs, you know what I'm saying? And then when you do that, can you guys see this good? You can just go ahead and then lay those down, and then you can just pull those back right over the ends of those grays. And it all looks way more natural, that hairline, and those grays are not as prevalent at all. Does that make sense?
It does.
Push those hairs to the front. No, don't pull them out. Don't pull them out. Push them to the front. And then you kind of cover them with the other hairs, and they'll start to behave. If you got 4 kids, you got one bad kid, and then one bad kid. All the other kids act up, you could go to your room, but the one kid act up, you just put him out, okay? You're not gonna end up like the other kids. It's like, just treat him like you treat the other kids, and he will behave in time like the other. Okay.
You had to give him a little more attention, because my grades need a little more product.
He bad.
Yeah, same.
Yeah. He bad.
That's good.
So give me your hand and just do like that, and then just put them back. But don't just put them out, okay? Don't just put. Yep. So just when you do your bun and you're casting in the very front, go to the front and pull those little hairs out, and then you just lay those down, and you can just put those over the grays. And then remember, like I said, apply really, really heavy on those grays. And even if they're silver, they'll be laying down, and they'll just be like a little highlight, you'll see, but they won't be like, oh, my hair doesn't look like it's supposed to look like these silver hairs. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I agree with you, because that technique works for me, because my gray hairs were really, I mean, they fight back, and I did want to pluck them all out. But once I started applying it heavy and pulling my edges up to the front, as you're recommending, now they lay down much better.
Yeah, and then eventually
that technique does help to pull them to the front.
Yes. Okay, and then for curls, like if some people here be like, oh, my hair, like their hair be looking like this. Oh, my curls. They be like, well, their hair be looking like this. Like, oh, it didn't work for me. I didn't have no curls. I'm like, well, number one, you didn't make. If your hair doesn't have a curl, like, okay, obviously you don't have enough on here. Okay, your hair isn't even going down. Your hair is sticking up still. Okay, so like that's very, very, very important. And then also, it's just making, so we can have all these little curls like we have right now, or we can just go ahead and let me make a super curl. This one, I'm gonna take like a 1/4 of an inch of hair, of radius of hair. And all I'm gonna do, just take that from the scalp, enough hair together. I'm gonna start from the scalp and apply heavily from the scalp. And I'm gonna go all the way down. Okay. You guys see, I don't have any tools or anything. I don't have a comb or anything. Now, the key is to make sure that your ends are good and coated. If your ends are not coated enough, your ends will stick up. If your ends are not coated enough, the rest of your hair will be shiny and your ends will be looking raggedy. Even if your ends are not healthy, if they're coated, they're not going to look raggedy. Does that make sense? And if they're raggedy and they're coated, they're being conditioned and they're being restored as we speak. So now I have this curl, and I'm going to just go ahead and let that fall. And that's a curl. So I'm going to have those all over my head now instead of my hair sticking up. And I'm talking about it doesn't work for me. If your hair does not curl and you don't have a curl pattern when you put products in your hair naturally, then you make the curl pattern. So we have that curl right there. I'm gonna make one more curl so you guys can see it again. I'll make it over here out of this dry part so you guys can just see it from beginning to end, okay? So this part right here, oh, well, it didn't work for me. Look at my hair. What am I doing wrong? This everybody in the group. What I do wrong?
Oh, Lord have mercy.
Get the product. That's what you did wrong.
Okay, I'm just joning, guys. Okay.
We know.
So we're gonna apply heavily.
Oh, crack it up.
I'm gonna get my hair from this to this. Okay, why would I be playing? And this is another reason. So on our, Erica, did you see our ad? People be asking for samples and stuff all the time. Like, I need a sample to see if it worked for me. You think I'm gonna quit my job, come up with an invention that nobody else came up with ever in life, and just give to you for free? Because I wonder why everybody going out of business. Like, whatever happened to that business? The one that was giving out all the free samples and didn't make a profit for the first 4 years. That one.
It's not gonna work for them because they won't follow instructions.
Period.
If I send you a sample, let's say if I send you this much, you're gonna try to use this much for the next
The
2
whole
weeks.
head.
Okay.
Right.
For the next 2 weeks. You're not gonna put it on and do a curl and say, oh, okay, this works for me. Now let me go ahead and order some. You're gonna try to do your whole head and have some left over for your vacation. And then be looking like this, talking about what am I doing wrong? Or just like all the other products.
A mess.
Okay. But now do we see this curl right here? And
Yes.
so this is a curl. This is gonna fall. And as this dries, it's going to curl to her natural, her hair is gonna tend to want to come back to this, but because it's coated, instead of that, it's gonna be trying to get out, but it's gonna be all working together now because it's casted together. So now we are joined at the hip. So now we're just gonna, instead, it's just gonna curl up. And you have a nice, beautiful curl that's gonna last 4 days and days once it dries. Now, what prevents this from drying beautifully oftentimes is people who have shorter length hair, like myself. If I let my hair dry down on my shirt, my cotton shirt is going to be taking all the product off my hair. Every time I turn my hair, it's going to be friction. And then by the time it all dries together, this back part is like all the way up here because it didn't dry correctly. So just use a cape, or in the alternative, you can just pin your hair up a little bit and just let it it's totally fine. And then you can, roll it under at night and let it dry fully that way. Does that make sense? But that's so nobody should be saying I have shrinkage still. Make your curl bigger. Apply more at the end so that the end is healthy, number one, because if the only reason why your curls to fly up is if you don't have enough at the end. If your hair if it's healthy, and then some people too, they do like this, which is fine. They just start applying product like a whole 2 inches away from the scalp, like midway. So the ends are like shiny and laid down. Then it's like a whole like inch or two, and they be like, well, what am I doing wrong? Okay, girl, you gotta start from the scalp. And then even if you have to part it for the first time or two, if your hair is just that thick, I'm going to part it in these like nice little 1/4 inch spaces. And I'm going to run it all the way from the scalp. And then I'm going to make sure that I get to that end. I'm going to pay really close attention to that end. And I'm going to smooth that all the way out. See, now, we see this frizz, we have to get rid of that frizz. You guys see that frizz right here in her face?
Yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
So we're not done. We have to get rid of that. Okay. So all the way to the end. And even if you want to put a little bit more, I'm gonna make that super brown because I'm gonna make that heavy. I don't want I want some hang time. I want my curls to be long and luscious and less volume and more long. And if you do it this way, like the first 2 days, you're gonna have the volume, you're gonna have the length. And then as the days go by day like 4 or 5, you're gonna start getting the volume because it's gonna all start to fill in and it's gonna end up beautifully. And that's how you get like a whole couple of weeks from your wash and go. And then you wake up the next day and this is, a little furry or a little fuzzy. You don't have to wash it all out again, start all over again. Just go ahead and start from the root again and just add, from the root, add a little bit more and go down the hair strand and refresh, refresh the ones that are fuzzy and you're good to go. So does that make sense, guys?
Yes.
And that's how you get,
Yes.
the nice long curls from this hair. You know what I'm saying? You can't, there is no curl pattern here that I see naturally. So you have to just form it. And that's how you form it. Put enough hair in the curl so that it makes sense. And make sure that the curl is coated from root to end and that the ends are heavy. And that's pretty much what we teach you guys in the 90-day hair challenge about how to do all this stuff way more effectively. And then also too, when you have product on your face when you get done, don't throw that away. Usually I just rub it around, rub it white. It's really, really good for your skin, you know what I'm saying? And you can let that go, or you can just get a baby wiper or a towel and just wipe it off that way. It's totally up to you. But if you rub it on your skin, it's really, really good for your skin. And it really does help you glow and grow. And it also, and then another thing too, when you're doing your scalp, a lot of times people only rub it up and down. You want to rub it left and right. You start to feel a lot of things in your scalp up here. When you just rub it across, you're like, oh, okay. So just try that when you do your hair this time too. And we want to, so this week our homework assignment is we want to see some good edges, good parts that are really, really filled in. These lights are getting hot. So, and we're gonna go ahead and end this now. So that's the homework assignment for this week. Anybody have anything else that they want to go ahead and discuss? I see you all.
Thank you.
Well,
Yeah,
thank
that was
you. Okay. So was this helpful in answering all the questions? We know how to now deal with itchy scalp. We now know how to deal with shrinkage and frizz. We now know how to cast our hair and everything, again, for all those who don't. So does this answer all those questions for you guys?
Yep.
Yep.
That was good.
Yes, great
Awesome.
session.
Well, good. So,
Yes.
Excellent.
so
Thank
we're
you
gonna
so
start
much.
taking it to the next level, guys. New techniques coming soon. I hope y'all
Yes.
ready.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, everybody
Thank
have
you,
a great
guys.
talk to you all
Thanks,
soon.
everybody. Have a great night.
All right.
Good night,
Bye.
everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Everybody.
Next week.